What is going on, Headliner Nation? Here we are, Saturday afternoon, doing the live show. Got your live start, sit, Q&A. Going to be going for about an hour today. Going to try to see how many questions we can answer in that short amount of time. And yes, I put batteries back in the sign, so you better believe we'll be letting it flow at some point this afternoon. Hopefully you all had a good rest of your week. Hopefully everybody's ready for some football, because it's right around the corner, right? It's tomorrow. Week 11's right here. It was a total disappointment for a Mr. MVS on Thursday night. A lot of people liked him. Apparently Aaron Rodgers did not, because that was an absolute horrible performance for MVS. But hey, unfortunately it happens. It's over with now, and now we got to focus on the games tomorrow. And what can we do about these Sunday lineups to try to maybe make up the difference if you did start an MVS on Thursday? Because it was a big disappointment. But let's go ahead and let's get into some start-sit questions. Hopefully here to help you guys out for about the next hour or so. Skeptic MC, I see you out there. Welcome to the live show. One of the first questions here is Terrence Fogg says, Galladay or Boyd? I mean, if you haven't heard the news yet that Marvin Jones will be out, that pretty much says that Kenny Galladay is going to see a ridiculous amount of targets. Nothing against Tyler Boyd. I'm not big on the matchup. Yes, he should have more opportunities with A.J. Green not playing, but if I had to choose, I'm going Kenny Galladay there. I mean, the upside, the volume, it should all be there for him on Sunday. He's got everything lined up to have a good game. Absolutely. What about Mac in a bounce-back game for organic FUD, organic FUD? Not this week, really. I don't have super high expectations on Marlon Mack this week. If you have no better options, he should get the bulk of the work there in the backfield. Next week starts to get a little bit better for Marlon Mack, but this week, kind of fading him a little bit. Let's see, what do we got? Ridley or Diggs, and this is from Bama Cards 14. I like Ridley a lot. However, I can't sit him I can't start him over Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is one of those, elite talents in a high-powered offense. Even though it is a tough matchup, I expect a lot more throwing in Minnesota than I do running. I'm taking Diggs all day long there. Jake Walker, Mixon or Derrick Henry? I've been getting it's not been hate. I haven't been getting as much this week after last week, but I'm not super high on Joe Mixon this week. I don't think he has a bad game. I'm just not expecting a huge game against a top Baltimore defense. I'm still going to go with Mixon, though, over Henry. As much as I think Henry is somewhat of a serviceable play, not great, but serviceable. At least he had 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games. I can't start him over Mixon. I'll take the upside with Mixon and then gamble with Henry at a later date. Collins or Lindsey from Dabber289C. I like Collins a lot. Now, if it's a PPR league, Lindsey has a little bit more upside. Collins more of a standard play, but a great matchup. Really depends. PPR, I go Lindsey. Standard, I go Collins. Tan fam, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate you. We got half-point PPR. Pick 2. You have Tate, Boyd, or Larry Fitzgerald, and I can pick 2. I'm going to be bold here. I feel really good about Golden Tate this week. He's one of my starts of the week. It seems a little bit dangerous, a little bit bold. But I do like Golden Tate a lot. Being that you're taking that gamble on Tate, in my opinion, Larry Fitzgerald would be the next best option. He's a little bit safer. If you went both Boyd and Tate, they'd both be a risk somewhat. That's a little bit too much for one lineup. So give me Tate and Larry Fitz there, and I appreciate you. KOG Nightfall, appreciate you also. We have Boyd, Fitzgerald, Evans, Ridley, Godwin, Miller, and Brown. Choose 3 in a standard league. Ooh, there's lots of good options there. Okay, even though Evans has struggled, we're going to start Mike Evans. We're going to start the stud there. We're going to be a little bit safer with number 2 and go back to Larry Fitzgerald again, another safer option since we have some risk here, because the third guy, between Boyd, Ridley, Godwin, Miller, and Brown, they're all a risk. There's not one solid guy there that you can put in and really count on for sure. I will go Tyler Boyd, being that he is the number 1 option in that offense and should see close to 8 to 10 targets. It is, a tough matchup, like we said, but hopefully they can move him around the field, put him in the slot some more, and give him more opportunities. So I would go Boyd, Fitzgerald, and Evans. The first 3 you have there would be the safest starts for me this week. Salty Reefer, I see and appreciate you. You're going to flex Dalvin Cook or Mark Ingram. They're both tough options, right? Tough matchups. Dalvin with the Bears. Mark Ingram has Philly. I'm going to go, it sounds a little crazy, but I think I'm going to go Mark Ingram this week. That offense you just can't shy away from in New Orleans. They can beat you so many different ways. They can't stack the box to take away the run because they have, the Michael Thomases, and I know Ben Watson's been serviceable at times. Brandon Marshall, not so much quite yet. They still have Traquan Smith. It opens up the running game. Give me Mark Ingram there. Let's see. Hare, great name. I lost a little bit of it the past couple hours. PPR got Collins, Cook, or Cohen. Please and thank you. Yes, you are welcome. Collins, Cook, or Cohen, and you can only pick one. In a PPR league, I think Cohen has the highest upside. This really fits Tariq Cohen's game plan this week. I really think that he is more involved than Jordan Howard. To me, the safest play there is Tariq Cohen. Second would be Alex Collins. I know he's not much of a PPR guy, but he does have high upside. He should start seeing, starters type of carries. The only question about Alex Collins is Ty Montgomery and how involved he is. Who's under center of the Ravens? A lot of question marks there, but Alex Collins should have a great second half with a great schedule. If it were me, I go Cohen this week. TRCSS, appreciate you. You got flex half PPR. Anthony Miller, Christian Kirk, Doug Martin, or Josh Reynolds. I'll be honest, there's not one of them that I'm completely happy about. There's not one that really pops out of the list and be like, oh yeah, this is your clear-cut guy you should choose. They all have risk. Anthony Miller's got the tough matchup with the Vikings defense. Christian Kirk, I like. He just hasn't been consistent with his volume, kind of boom or bust. Doug Martin plays for the Raiders, and they don't give a damn about anything. Josh Reynolds is intriguing, taking over that Cooper Kupp role, but I expect a lot more Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks. To me, if I had to choose one of them, I think I gamble and I go Anthony Miller, but it's really close between him and Christian Kirk. Anthony Miller should at least see a little bit lighter coverage if Xavier Rhodes is in there against Allen Robinson. However that defensive matchup works out, Anthony Miller has provided, great value here as of late. So he would be my choice there, Anthony Miller, but it's close between him and Kirk. Christopher Evans, you dropped Cousins for Mariota this week. Is that a good call? Maybe for this week, but for the season, I don't know if I would have dropped Cousins yet. He's been pretty consistent for the most part. I don't know if I would have dropped Cousins. I don't really like to carry two quarterbacks, so I understand what you're doing. It's going to be a little risky down the stretch. You may end up having to stream a few times, but that's what it's about, is winning each week. Yeah, I see MVS messed a lot of you guys up. I understand that he messed me up also. I don't think Aaron Rodgers, maybe him and Aaron Rodgers got into, I have no idea what happened with MVS. He just was not involved in that game plan whatsoever. The man Dev, Fitz or Robert Woods, and Evan Ingram or Jack Doyle. 100% this one is easy for me. I'm going Robert Woods and Jack motherfucking Doyle right there. Robert Woods gets a huge bump in value with Cooper Kupp out, and Jack Doyle is somebody who I'm really high on this week. I do expect more volume going Jack Doyle. I know Eric Ebron had a huge game last week. I think the volume still stays with Jack Doyle, and that's my choice for this week. My name is Jeff. Appreciate you right there. Plus, it's fun to say the name. Which QB would you pick from Minnesota or the Chicago game? I think they both have decent games. I would pick Mitch Magic a little bit higher than Kirk. Not by a whole lot. I mean, they're kind of close. I think the higher upside game may be in Chicago's favor because they'll be having to throw a lot more. It's really close, though. I would go Mitch Magic, but just by a hair. And I appreciate you. My name is Jeff. CRS Transio, thank you very much. Yes, Custom Charm Farm is telling everybody to hit the like button. And the last thing we want to do is really upset that guy. So let's make sure we hit that like button for him. I appreciate you. Big Ben or Mitch Magic for Sean McKinnon. I mean, I didn't care for Big Ben last week, and that didn't quite work out for him. He's got a tough matchup with the Jags. Mitch Magic, I just talked about. I think he's going to have more opportunity for a big game. Therefore, I choose Mitch Magic. But I know it is bold, if you can say that, to do that. But that's what I would do. He would be my choice. Josh Smith, thank you very much. Heuerman or Ricky Seals-Jones for your tight end spot? I'm going with Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, I know Heuerman had a great game before the bye, but I'm not really buying into it as a weekly performance. Give me Ricky Seals-Jones. I believe he's had like 6 targets a game for the last 2 games. That's the most he's had here for a while. Hang on one second. Let me scroll back up. Having to pause the chat because you guys are absolutely rapid firing in the questions. Luca Barra, rest of season, do you keep Biskey, so Mitch Magic, or Breeze, or drop Biskey? Do I keep both of them is your question. I mean, personally, I hate to keep two quarterbacks as long as their bye weeks are gone, so you're good there. I personally, if there's somebody of value on the waiver wire, if there's a running back or a wide receiver out there with some huge, end of season value, then you can drop maybe one of them. Also, look at who's available on your waiver wire. Maybe if you have multiple streaming options from a week-to-week basis, you may be able to, kind of stream at times if need be. If somebody gets a tough matchup in there, I would prefer Breeze out of the options. I wouldn't drop either one of them just to pick up somebody who is horrible on the waiver wire. But if there's somebody of value out there, yeah, you could drop one of them. Andres Sanchez, that's a lot of thumbs down, and I 100% agree with you there, my friend. Mikey Mink. These going so fast, I can't read them all. Hey, how you guys doing out there? Shane, good to see you, Shane. I see you here in the live chat. I appreciate you. Trubisky or Mitch Magic? The last time I checked, Trubisky is Mitch Magic. Maybe you're asking Mitch Magic or Fitz Magic? Maybe. I'm going to assume that. I hate to assume questions here, but I know I don't think you're asking me to pick between the same players. At least I wouldn't think so. Mitch Magic, I think, has a high upside, but look at what Fitzmagic does on a weekly basis. I mean, he's constantly putting up huge numbers, but can we really trust it? I think Fitzmagic has a slightly higher upside than Mitch Magic, just because there's always that potential that the Minnesota defense kind of takes over. I would put Fitzmagic above him, but by like the closest of margins. I think I have him back to back in the rankings. It's really something where it's really close. I would prefer Fitzmagic over Mitch Magic if that was your question, but it's like 1A and 1B right next to each other. Hopefully that answered your question. Let's see, Dalvin Cook or Kerryon Johnson in a full PPR. Give me Kerryon Johnson right there. I'm kind of worried somewhat about the matchup for Dalvin Cook. I think that the defense of the Chicago Bears was somewhat embarrassed last week. So I think they kind of redeemed themselves this week. Give me Kerryon Johnson, especially now that Marvin Jones is out. We could see a lot more Theo Riddick and Kerryon Johnson in the passing game. Like the upside for both of them there. I see you, Shane. It said auto type. Yeah, I think I knew what you meant, though. I've seen you enough in the comment section. We're right there. I got you. Andres Klockman, I appreciate you also. So let's see. Austin Villalobos, you have Ridley or Davis in your flex in a standard league. I'm not overly high on either. If I had to choose one, I go Corey Davis because he's getting close to 10 targets a game here the past few weeks. I know it's not a PPR league, but it does give him more of an option. There's less offensive weapons in Tennessee. Ridley has a lot of guys to share targets with, so give me Corey Davis this week. Boy Jeezy, what's going on out there? Says, Jake, I'm starting Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Hooper in a full point PPR. What do you think? I think that's a lot of Falcons. I understand what you're doing. They're all great options. Just be wary that if you do this, they're playing the Dallas Cowboys, which I know doesn't sound like a tough matchup, but their secondary is one of the tops in the league. If they come out there and that defensive the defense of the Dallas Cowboys has a pretty good game, you have a potential to kind of have a rough week. I mean, that's 3 spots in your lineup that are all pretty much dependent on the quarterback A. So if Matt Ryan struggles in this game against this defense, it's going to limit you with Julio and Hooper. It's a gamble. I see what you're doing. They're decent options. Having all 3 of them, though, I'd be a little bit worried just in case the Dallas Cowboys defense shows up. Joe Camel, Matt Ryan sucks. Joe said it. I didn't. I'm not bashing players, but I know what you're talking about, Joe. You're welcome, Austin. Anytime. Johan Bergeron. Hopefully I said that right. I think I nailed that one. I hope. You got Lamar Jackson or Andy Dalton. There's always this up in the air of how much does Lamar Jackson get, how much does RG3 get. Personally, I'd rather just take the safer start that I know is going to play the entire game and Andy Dalton. Rough matchup, but at least I know he'll be there the entire game, barring injury. So give me Andy Dalton. Brian Trippimer. Jake, love your stuff. Please pick me one for your flex. Djax, Shepard, Ridley, or Sutton. That is a little tough. I mean, I'm kind of preferential to Sterling Shepard out of that list. I think he's your safest option with a decent matchup. I would take Sterling Shepard there for the flex. Naeem Halal, thank you very much. Got Aaron Jones or Sony Michel rest of season as a flex play. You have Fournette and Zeke as your 1 and 2, so looking to trade Michel or Aaron Jones for Diggs. I like both of them a lot, especially Sony Michel coming out of the bye week. But you guys just saw what Aaron Jones did, and if they can commit to this kid like they have the past couple weeks, he could be an absolute league winner for you. I'm not getting rid of Aaron Jones for nothing. They're starting to involve him in the passing game. Yeah, I'm keeping Aaron Jones. Problem is you're not going to get a whole lot of trade value for Sony Michel because he was injured before the bye week, so some people may be scared. It just depends. You may have a hard time getting Diggs for him, but if you can, I would rather keep Aaron Jones and Sony Michel at this point. John Tupu, hopefully I didn't butcher that one. John Brown, Anthony Miller, or Christian Kirk, full point PPR. This is where we kind of go back to Anthony Miller or Christian Kirk. I like both of them decently in these options. John Brown, I'm worried about because we don't know who's going to play quarterback the entire game in Baltimore, so I'm kind of cutting him out. Anthony Miller, I think, may be a little bit safer than Christian Kirk. He'll see more volume. With more volume comes more opportunity. I would go Anthony Miller right there and hope that he can, see, somewhere between 7 and 10 targets a game. Let's see. Jason Danserow. You can start 2 out of 3. Boyd, Davis, or Hilton in a PPR. All right, well, I'm going to start the stud there, and I'm going to start T.Y. Hilton, even though it's a tough matchup. So give me one for him. So now we're down to Boyd or Davis. I think Davis may be slightly safer, but his ceiling isn't as high. If you want to play it safe, you go Corey Davis. If you want to gamble and go for that high upside, you go Tyler Boyd. Josh Taylor, I see you and I appreciate you. Alshon Jeffrey and Tevin Coleman in your flex, half-point PPR. I'm going Alshon Jeffrey. That could be an absolute shootout there with the New Orleans Saints. Tevin Coleman has been nothing but inconsistent. That's like the only thing Tevin Coleman has been is inconsistent, and it's very irritating. Go with the shootout. Go with Alshon Jeffrey, the number 1 wide out there for Carson Wentz in a game that could have a lot of points scored. Andres Klockman, appreciate you. Ridley Martin or John Brown in standard. Greetings from Germany. Hey, Germany in the house. That's what I'm talking about. We're going global over here. So Ridley, Martin, or John Brown. Already talked about John Brown. I'm not going to include him because I don't even know who his quarterback will be for 4 quarters. Martin plays for the Raiders, which really scares me. And Ridley's been somewhat inconsistent, and he's got a tough matchup. If it's me, I typically try to go with the running back because at least I know he's going to go out there and get you 10 to 15 touches. It is the Oakland Raiders, and he worries me. He may be the safest play, which is scary because he's got a really low ceiling. If you want to play it safe, you go Martin. If you want to gamble a little bit, go for the better play, the higher ceiling. That's Ridley in my opinion. And I appreciate you. Joseph Tinker, Arizona or Baltimore? I'm guessing you mean defenses, and if that's the case, give me Arizona. Anybody who plays against the Oakland Raiders should start the opposing defense. Plus, the defense in Arizona has been playing better as of late. I'm going Arizona there. One of the best streaming options of the week. Probably because they're highly available in a lot of leagues. So, yeah, definitely. Daniel DiCaprio, thank you very much. Mixon, Lindsey, or Keenan Allen. And you can only start one of them, Daniel? That's rough. It's hard to sit any of these guys. Keenan Allen came off the injury report here at the end of the week. He is by far the stud in that mix. I know Joe Mixon has that potential, but he's got a tough matchup. Personally, I would go Keenan Allen. If this is a PPR league, I think he has the higher upside because he sees the large amount of volume. If you want to play it safe and just with the safe play, Phillip Lindsay is maybe the better option there. Just has a lower ceiling this week. Izzy E661, appreciate you. 6-team, half-point PPR, Cohen, Mixon, or Diggs for your flex. Personally, I like Cohen a lot this week. I think he sees a lot of volume. Diggs is also somebody who has a great opportunity for a huge game. I think he's a little bit riskier. If it were me, I go the little bit riskier route and go Diggs for the big home run ability. But I think Cohen may be a little bit safer if you wanted to play it that route. Juan Vaca Ramirez, you have Tyler Boyd, Golden Tate, Kiki, Do You Love Me, QT, Alshon Jeffrey, pick 2 of them. Okay, well, I really like Tate, but I like Jeffrey also, but I don't want to start both guys from the Eagles. I'm going to take Alshon Jeffrey as the safer play and Tyler Boyd as my number 2. Kiki coming off injury. Golden Tate, don't really want to have both him and Jeffrey in there. So I'm going Boyd and Jeffrey as the 2 there. One a little bit of a risk, one in a great matchup. They should complement each other nicely there. Fitz or Sutton, and this is for Gavin Blau. Let's see. I think Fitz, you got to go Fitz. I mean, he's the safer option. Sutton may have that, higher touchdown upside, maybe more big play ability, but Fitz, in my opinion, is somebody who's too safe to pass on right there. Skeptic saying he's trying to throw the junk food emojis at me. I see you. I'm trying to cut back on the junk food. The season's been a long season. There's been a lot of junk food involved over the last 11 weeks. You know what I mean? But yeah, I need more likes. Johan Bergeron. Jake needs more likes. 100%. I agree. I appreciate you. Let's see. One more question. Uzama or Huerman? I'm guessing this is for Brian for your tight end. They're both a crapshoot, to be completely honest. It's like a roll of the dice for both of them. If I had to choose one, I go Uzama, but I'm really not excited about it. Huerman's close to him there in the rankings. He's really only had one great game. Personally, I go Uzama. Salty Reefer, welcome to the live show, my friend. Appreciate you. We got Rivers or Watson. You get 1 point per completion. Well, that changes things a little bit. Rivers is probably the safer play there, I would think. I may actually go Phillip Rivers if you get a point per completion. Watson, though, he's got some more weapons coming up. He's just a little bit more inconsistent, been playing a lot better as of late. Rivers is safer. Personally, I would probably go Deshaun Watson right there and gamble a little bit and go bigger. I like to gamble a little bit. I don't always like to play it safe. Rivers, to me, is the safer option. But me, I'd go Watson and hope for the big day. Wow. I don't think I can say that, but I appreciate your donation. But I'm just going to say FFD is the next one. I can't really say that out loud. I don't want to be flagged for inappropriate content and have my videos taken down because that wouldn't really help me much. But hey, you got Sutton or Watkins. I hadn't seen any other later news here. Let me check one last thing to make sure that there's nothing new on Sammy Watkins, because he would be my choice as long as he's good to go. In that offense in this game, he is somebody who is definitely intriguing. Personally, I would much rather have Sammy Watkins than Cortland Sutton. The offense in Denver is not exactly up to the same level as it was we're talking about there for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going Sammy Watkins. I hadn't seen anything else come out lately saying that he was going to be limited at all in any other way. Sounds like he's going to be good to go. Jamie Reyes or Jaime Reyes, however you pronounce it. Standard Mark Ingram or Tyler Boyd or Demaryius Thomas, Lamar Miller, Kenny Galladay. I can pick 2, please, and thank you. Okay, that's a little tough because you got some options here. Standard League, which kind of helps out a little bit. I'm going to say Kenny Galladay. He's got the highest upside with Marvin Jones being out now. I do like Demaryius Thomas this week. I think he's somebody who has some decent upside, and he's a little bit safer. If it were me, I go Kenny Galladay and Demaryius Thomas. If you want to gamble, you can go Kenny Galladay and Tyler Boyd. Personally, in this case, I'm going Demaryius Thomas and Kenny Galladay. I know, Joe, crazy name there, huh? Can't really say that one out there. Yeah, here comes some funny comments. Greetings from England. Jake Walker, England in the house. I got to make it over to that side of the world at some point. I've never been over there. You see, you have Cortland Sutton, Demaryius Thomas, or Allen Robinson for your wide receiver 2 in non-PPR, standard leagues. I'm going Demaryius Thomas right there. Sounds bold, sounds crazy. Newer team, not so involved before the bye, but I like Demaryius Thomas this week. Give me Demaryius Thomas. Vikash Chand. Hopefully I pronounced that one good. We have Doug Martin or Sterling Shepard as your flex. I'm going Sterling Shepard right there. I think he's somebody who sees enough volume, has some touchdown upside. It is Eli, i.e. Crayola's Manning throwing to him. But like I said, he's involved in that offense. Wasn't overly involved last week. I'm looking for a little bit more of a bounce back this week. And if there's any better options outside of somebody in an Oakland Raiders jersey, more than likely I'm going to take it. So give me Sterling Shepard right there. Boyd or Diggs, Jared Rendon. Give me Diggs. I'm going Diggs there. Hard to sit him. He's got the safer floor, in my opinion. Skeptic, you got Keenan Allen or Coleman. Give me Keenan Allen there for sure. I don't trust Coleman from a week-to-week basis. Yeah, I know Allen has a tough matchup against Chris Harris, but To me, you're just as gambling just as much with Tevin Coleman. He can go out there and get you 4 fantasy points. He can go out there and get you 24 fantasy points. There's just too big of a swing there, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's get some different names up in here. Mex Rec, OMG, Cousins, Lamar, or Mariota. I don't know what the OMG is for, but Cousins, Lamar, and Mariota, are those your only 3 options for quarterback? I mean, that to me is struggling. I would have to say that, Mariota is probably the one that I would choose this week. I mean, I'm not overly excited about it at all, but I mean, out of those choices, I would have to say Mariota. Cousins is really close. I think Cousins may be a little safer, but Mariota has the higher upside for the week. Just depends if you want to gamble that way or not. I'm not too high on any of the 3. Mario Moreno. Jake, should I go with Theo Riddick or Jordan Howard in a PPR league? That is a great, great question. A lot of people are kind of forgetting about Theo Riddick. He's somebody who could see a huge bump in volume now that Marvin Jones isn't playing. I think Theo Riddick has a lot of value this week, and if you have him, I would actually go Theo Riddick in a PPR league. Broderick Forcier. Did I nail that one? Or is it Forcier? Probably not. I'm thinking it's Forcier because it sounds really cool, but I'm going to go with it. You have a standard pick 2, Ingram, Collins, or Lewis. I'm going Ingram and Collins there. Standard leagues, you don't get the bump in production from Lewis. Tough matchup for Ingram, good matchup for Collins. I think both of them can get you close to about 30 touches this week, and I'll take that all day long. Give me Ingram and Collins, and I appreciate you. JC Vader, Lamar Miller, Marlon Mack, Cortland Sutton, and you're the man. Yeah, you are the man, JC. Lamar Miller, Mack, or Sutton. I'm not too excited over any of them. I'm not huge on Marlon Mack this week, but if I had to choose, I do go with Mack here. Lamar Miller is way too inconsistent. He can get you 12 carries for 11 yards. He can get you 15 carries for 150 yards. Too big of a swing there for me. Cortland Sutton is somebody who doesn't see the volume, has a high big play potential, but to me, Mack may be the safest option there, and that would be who I would choose there, even though I'm not overly high on Mack this week. PJ Abraham, T.Y. Hilton, or Corey Davis? I'm going T.Y. there. I wasn't very high on T.Y. last week. Didn't really have a great game. I'm looking for a bounce back. They need to try to keep him involved in that offense going forward. Let's see. Jay Hagerty says, yo, Jake, great show. Boyd or John Brown this week? Give me Boyd this week. John Brown, we really don't even know who his quarterback will be or for how many quarterbacks his quarterback will be. There's too many question marks with John Brown and the Ravens receivers at this point. Give me Tyler Boyd there, even though it's a tough matchup. Phantasma 1501. Pick one. We have Adam Humphries, Godwin, or Reynolds. A lot of boomer bust here. A lot of crapshoots, a lot of guys that there is not one solid answer. If I had to choose one, I think I go with Adam Humphries. He may be the safest play of the options there. Jamie Kaufman, Jonnu Smith, or Trey Burton for tight end. There's a Jonnu Smith sighting. I said Jonnu Smith's name 6 weeks ago, and everybody made fun of me, and then he didn't do anything, so the making fun of me was legit. Now he's starting to come around. I was just 6 weeks early on him. I'm still sticking with Trey Burton, though. He hasn't reached that potential yet. He does have it. Jonnu Smith is somebody who we could see big numbers from here in the future. Safer play this week, still Trey Burton. It's Miller time. He's got me some alcoholic beverages, some pizzas, some hamburgers, some tacos. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff up here. It says Big Ben or Fitzmagic, Watkins or Larry Fitzgerald in a standard league. There's some healthier food options for you. See, he gave me a salad and some fish and a banana or something. Okay, first question, you have Big Ben or Fitzmagic. I have Fitzmagic slightly higher this week, slightly. I'm going to go with Fitzmagic as my quarterback. And the other question was Watkins or Larry Fitzgerald. Fitz is the safer option. Personally, though, I'm gambling going Sammy Watkins in that high shootout potential of a game. There's always that possibility in Arizona that if they can get a lead, they may rely more on David Johnson this week than the passing game. The recovery 716. See you and appreciate you. Adrian Peterson or Corey Davis in the flex. Give me Corey Davis. Adrian Peterson, I expect to struggle now that he's going to have a banged-up offensive line for weeks. Glenn Kempster, another UK fan in here. Hopefully you mean the United Kingdom and not the University of Kentucky. I'm hoping you're meaning UK because they're a lot better. In standard, I have set Watson, Miller, Gordon Diggs, Galladay, Fournette, Howard, your kicker, your defense, bench options, Tate, Thomas, Allen Robinson, and Goff. Any thoughts? I actually like Goff a little bit more than Watson as my quarterback this week. But other than that, you have it set up just about as good as you can get it. No issues with that there. Like I said, I just think Goff's upside is a little higher in what could be a huge shootout with the Chiefs. Hennifer, Thielen, even though he's banged up, or Galladay in a PPR. Unless something comes out during the pregame tomorrow where he tries to go out there and he can't go, if Thielen plays, it's really hard to sit him. I understand there is, that chance that he can re-injure it or not be able to make it all game, though. If you don't want to risk that, Kenny Galladay is a great, great option this week who should see a ton of volume with no Marvin Jones. Hard to sit Thielen, but if you're worried about that re-injury risk, Galladay's a great option. Let's see what else is next. Is Sammy Watkins worth playing over Cortland Sutton? Chris Dyer. I love the upside of Sammy Watkins. I mean, that offense and what could be a very exciting... Heck, this could be like a Super Bowl, preview. These are two great, fun teams to watch. Sammy Watkins has a lot of upside in this offense. He's just got to be healthy. That's his biggest thing, is being healthy. What one do we have next? Diggs or Juju in a standard league for Jack Varner. That is really close. I think Juju is going to be my choice there. He may be a little safer. I know they've got that tough matchup, but Juju always finds a way to get involved in those games. It may not be a huge game. It may not be one of those games where he goes out there and get you the 75-yard touchdown right off the bat like you've seen. Diggs may have the higher ceiling, though. So if you want to gamble here, Diggs has that possibility. And be on the lookout. If for some reason it comes out late tomorrow or before the games that Adam Thielen may be limited or may be on a snap count, then Diggs may be the better option because you'll see more volume. Just try to pay attention to those early morning games and practice reports and see what comes out pregame there. Let's see. T.Y. Hilton or Demaryius Thomas for Roberto Rodriguez? I like Demaryius Thomas a lot this week. I also think T.Y. Hilton's in for a bounce back. I think T.Y. Hilton is the better option there. Demaryius Thomas is going to start having a decent second half of the season, though, so keep an eye out for that. Carry on or Kenny in your flex? So I'm guessing you mean Kenny G there, Jeremy Lau. Carry on or Kenny G in a flex spot PPR? I'm going to go with Kerryon Johnson. I like both of them a lot, and when I like both of them a lot, especially on a situation like this where they're both on the same team, this is something where I would rather take the for sure touches. We know Kerryon's going to touch the ball a minimum of 10 to 15 times? There's no guarantee that Kenny Galladay gets 10 to 15 targets. Give me the guy who's going to touch the ball a lot. Give me Kerryon Johnson there. That's usually how I kind of go back and forth. Jay Riojas, Dear Jake, I've commented, but you still haven't called me back. I feel like I should be playing some sad music right here. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. Do I trash Watkins over John Brown? You're the man, Jake. You complete me. Man, if I had some sad, music be playing in the background, I kind of feel like I'm reading those love notes on the Tonight Show. That was a great comment, by the way, Jay Rojas. What was your question? I forgot now. Watkins over John Brown. Yes, you do. John Brown, who's his quarterback going to be? Could be RG3. Could be Lamar Jackson. It could be both. Who knows? It could be neither. Flacco could turn into a superhero and start. We really don't know. So I don't trust anybody in Baltimore this week. Great comment. Scott48, COC. Appreciate you. Ingram, Cohen, or Cook in a half-point PPR. Cohen is the safest option there, and he may be my choice. After that, Ingram, it may be the next option. Not much of a PPR threat, even though the past couple weeks he has been involved in the passing game, but has a tougher matchup. I go Cohen and then Ingram right there for my choices. Straight out of Visa. I've been there before. Derrick Henry or Calvin Ridley as a flex. You guys are testing my Derrick Henry faith here. I don't have a ton of faith, but it's a tough matchup for Calvin Ridley. Also, being that it's a PPR league, I'm going to say Calvin Ridley, but Derrick Henry is going to start moving his way up these ranks if he can continue to get the touches around the goal line. He's definitely somebody who has huge upside and has been using it as of late. Let's see. The SAR. Sorry, I'm way late. Been watching Alvin Kamara. He's going to win me my fantasy league. Preach, better than Gurley. He's awesome. He's definitely awesome. I don't know if he's better than Gurley. I don't know if anybody's better than Gurley. And he's kind of proven that this year so far. Roberto Rodriguez, T.Y. Hilton, or Demaryius Thomas in a PPR. As much as I like Thomas, I still have T.Y. a little bit higher than him, so I would go T.Y. over Demaryius. Miller or Robinson for AP. I'm guessing it's Allen Robinson. If I had to choose between either of the Bears receivers, I'm going Anthony Miller this week. Even though Allen Robinson came out and had a huge game, what was it, week 2 or week 3? He had 10 catches in a game, and everybody thought it was the coming out party of Allen Robinson as a Chicago Bear, and then he disappeared for a while. Not buying that one huge game as being something that happens all the time. Cameron Cohen, Watkins, Tate, or Galladay. Hey from the moon. I've never had a viewer from the moon before, so what's going on? I'm going Galladay there. He's the safest option. Tate is really close to it. Galladay moved a little bit higher in the rankings once Marvin Jones went out, just because of the amount of volume he could see. I see Jay Rojas still leaving me his sad comments. Tyrell Williams, a good pick for Dude Fellow. I don't know if I'd say the word good. Decent, maybe. Potential, maybe. But the volume isn't there for him. If he doesn't get you a touchdown or a big play, you're going to be disappointed with him. Joshua Nelson, hey, love the shows. Need one wide receiver 3 between Sanders or Fitzgerald in a standard league. I think Emmanuel Sanders is the better pick there. Kind of hard to not choose him. He is somewhat riskier this week, but I can't go against him. Oh no, Luis Ruiz, you're in a must-win situation and you have to choose between Dak or Bortles. A, you have my condolences. B, you're going with Dak Prescott, in my opinion. I know Dak gets no love, and I know he can definitely, irritate some people at certain times, but over the past few weeks, Dak's been a top 10 quarterback, fantasy-wise, and I definitely got to go with him. I think the addition of Amari Cooper actually helps him because it's pulling some defenders out of the box and allowing the run game to get going. So give me Dak. Carson Davis, I see you and I appreciate you very much. Thanks for all your work. I watch you every week. PPR, Uzomah or Heuerman, Matt Ryan or Big Ben. I'm going with Uzomah and Matt Ryan. Now, am I overly excited about it? Not particularly. Heuerman had one great game. I'm not ready to say he's this new next big tight end thing. And then he went on a bye week. Uzomah has struggled at times just getting the volume, but there really aren't a whole lot of options there with A.J. Green out outside of Mixon and Boyd. So Uzomah has a slight bump in possible production, has that higher upside, so give me Uzomah. Matt Ryan or Big Ben, both have tougher matchups this week. I think Matt Ryan is the safer floor. He is definitely somebody who you can plug in there almost on a weekly basis and really not have to worry about the type of offense they run. They're not going to rely heavily on the run and run the ball 25, 30 times a game. Give me Matt Ryan there. Somebody says I have a stalker, and that's a little bit scary. The good thing about it is nobody knows where I live, so it can't be stalked too much. I'm like incognito. Let's see. I have to almost go into like witness protection program. Once you enter the fantasy business, and I know you guys probably don't care about this a whole lot, but there is a large amount of hate that goes around, which I've come to realize here over the past few weeks. So for that case, I kind of leave a lot of the personal stuff out of it because there may literally be people wanting to stalk me and find me, and that's not going to happen. Anyway, moving on to more important things. Greetings from Mexico, Leo GA. What is going on, Leo? Thank you for watching. Clay Richter really needs to win this week. I do too, Clay. I hope I can also. You got Hilton or Lindsey. Lindsey is the safer play there. Like I said, when there's two players that I like both of them, I typically lean towards the running back because I want to get those for sure touches. We know Lindsey is going to touch the ball right around 15 times a game. Can't say that for T.Y. Hilton. He may be more touchdown dependent than Lindsey is. Lindsey is safer, like them both, but I'm going Lindsey here out of those choices. Nothing but love. That's right. Absolutely. Who can tell me what's the like ticker at? I need a like ticker. I can't even see how many we have. Mason Routhier, hopefully. Jake, please read. Okay, I'm reading it. Anthony Miller or John Ross and Larry Fitzgerald or Tyler Boyd, both standard leagues. So it's 2 different leagues. Anthony Miller or John Ross, give me Anthony Miller. Larry Fitzgerald or Tyler Boyd, I'm going Larry Fitzgerald as a safer play. If there's a lot of great options in your lineup already, then you can go with Tyler Boyd. But if otherwise, it's just a little bit too much of a risk. BB, where does it say here? You got burned by MVS on Thursday. You are not alone, my friend. I play in a standard league. Should I flex Fitz, Sammy, or Mixon? Thanks for the show. Best fantasy channel on YouTube. Really appreciate that. If you're behind already, maybe you played somebody who had Aaron Jones or Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams. If you're chasing points or are really kind of behind right now, you need to shoot for the big day. If you only have to choose between Fitz, Sammy, or Mixon, I think you kind of just go with Joe Mixon and hope for the best. It's not an ideal matchup, but he does have probably the highest ceiling of all of them. Sammy Watkins is up there in what could be a shootout, but we know he's not going to touch the ball as much as Joe Mixon. Fitz is more of a standard play, safe play. So yeah, I'm hoping, I'm closing my eyes, crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, and throwing in Joe Mixon. Let's see, Tate or T.Y. Hilton for GC. I like both of them, but I got T.Y. a little bit higher this week, just by a little bit. Junior Jazz, Panthers defense or the Redskins defense. The only thing that really makes that difficult is which Carolina defense shows up this week. Hopefully not the Carolina team that showed up against the Steelers last week. That was just, absolutely horrible. I would personally choose the Panthers, but it's difficult because what happened to them last week where they took an absolute nosedive. They have the higher upside. I like the Panthers a little bit more, but it's a risk. Max M, see you, and I appreciate you. Josh Reynolds or Larry Fitzgerald? I'm going Fitzgerald. He's safer in my opinion. Josh Reynolds assumes that Cooper Kupp role, but I see a lot more targets going Woods and Cooks' way. Afraid of Cabbage. Great name. I don't like cabbage either. Says, yo, Jake, Jordan Howard or Ridley in the flex for a PPR league? I'm going Ridley. I see more Cohen than I see Howard this week. Howard will be strictly goal line dependent. The only way I see him having a good game is if he gets a bunch of goal line touches, maybe some long pass interference plays that gets the ball inside the 5. Then Jordan Howard could have a good game, but I'd hate to just count on that going in. Let's see. Sam Wallen, standard. Cohen, Lindsey, or Larry Legend in the flex. Hey, from Toronto, Canada in the house, eh? Let's see what we got in a standard league. Cohen, Lindsey, or Larry. Cohen more of a PPR, but hasn't quite been lately. Philip Lindsay may be the safest option here. Larry Fitzgerald in the flex in a standard league isn't bad. He doesn't have a huge touchdown upside. There's not a whole lot of touchdowns to be scored in Arizona. And if there is, David Johnson's probably going to get the bulk of them. To me, Philip Lindsay is who I would start right there in a standard league. Ellie, I see you out there. Thank you very much, saying that I am the best. Well, I appreciate that. Manny Paniagua, Shepard or Mixon in a PPR flex. This is getting really close to where you just have to throw in Mixon. I do like Shepard. He's somebody that's going to be involved and has the touchdown upside. I go Mixon there and take a slight gamble just for the amount of touches he'll see more than Shepard. Dante McCringleberry in the house. What's going on there, my friend? We have Connor, Fournette, Ingram. Pick 2. That's tough. I'm going to go Connor and Fournette. I like Ingram a lot this week, but I wouldn't want to sit any of them. Give me Connor and Fournette for the volume they should see. They should see a huge workload. Jesus Margia. Start Mixon, Gurley, Fournette, or Hopkins, Boyd, and Kenny. So I don't know how many you need, so I'll put them in order here. I mean, Gurley, Fournette, Mixon would be how I would rank the running backs. Gurley and Fournette, must-starts. Hopkins, Boyd, and Kenny. I'm sitting Boyd, and I'm going with Kenny and Hopkins there. So I'd go Hopkins, Kenny, Boyd there for the wide receiver position. I mean, heck, if you got Gurley, Fournette, Hopkins, and Kenny G, It's a solid starting 4 right there. I appreciate you. Got about 15 minutes left. Who wants to do a little let it flow? Should we let it flow a little bit? I haven't let it flow yet today. I've answered a lot of questions, but I haven't gotten into that. Trent Borland, PPR, Ingram or Lindsey? Also, rest of season, Lindsey or Cook? Man, this is a toss-up for PPR. For your running back there, I would say Lindsey is the safer option. And rest of season, Cook has a tough schedule. I mean, I like Cook going forward if he can stay healthy, but his schedule's a little bit tougher, so I'm actually going to say Lindsey is probably the safer there. The safer option. Dalvin Cook has some name value still. I don't know if your trade deadline's passed. I don't know what you can really get for him, but he's definitely somebody who I would, be okay with rest of season, regardless of when Royce Freeman comes back. All right, I'm seeing some people tell me to let it flow, but before I do, I got to check and see how many likes we have, because I don't just let it flow for nobody. We got to let it flow for a decent amount. 151 likes and 2 dislikes. Got some haters out there, but that's all right. I'm used to the haters, too. The haters know who they are. No, let it flow, cry too much. Who cries? I don't think I cry. I've never cried on camera before. Joe Camel, you got Fitzgerald, Ridley, QT, Djax, or Miller. Pick 3. Fitzgerald, Miller, and Ridley would actually be my third one there for you, Joe. S. June says no flow. He does not want it. S. June says no more, let it flow. He is not a fan. Not a fan of it. We got one guy in there. Somebody needs to talk him into it. That's right, Tim. They're always there. They won't ever go away. You don't like the tight helmet? Okay, so Jay Swano says you're 5-5. Crucial playoff matchup this week. Calvin Ridley or Lamar Miller in a standard scoring. Man, I don't trust Lamar Miller with anything. I just can't choose Lamar Miller. Absolutely not. Can't go with Miller. Ishmael, I see you and I appreciate you. Saquon and Diggs for Thomas, Thielen, or Hopkins. Saquon and Diggs for Thomas, Thielen, or Hopkins. So this is a trade question, I'm guessing. You want to trade Saquon and Diggs for Thomas and Thielen or Thomas and Hopkins? Yes. I mean, as long as you're okay at running back and you're not going to be hurting, you don't want to just trade out positions. You want to make a gain in this. But Thomas and Hopkins would be my choice. Only reason because Thielen's just popping up on injury reports. You just don't really know how it is. Michael Thomas is one of the top receivers. Yeah. I mean, just make sure you don't hurt yourself with the running back position. All right. 2 more questions here, and then we'll let it flow, even though we got one person who doesn't want me to. Mixon or Peterson? Then I'm going to go Mixon for you, A to Z. That's definitely, I choose Mixon over Peterson. I just don't trust that offensive line. Alex Fullerton. Good afternoon, Jake. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, Alex. Please help. Start 2 between Alshon, Jeffrey, T.Y., or Diggs. I can see why you're having trouble there, because that is a tough choice. I'm gonna go Alshon as the safer play, and Diggs also for that high upside. Let's see. Joe Briss, see you, and I appreciate you also. PPR, Mixon, Collins, Lindsey, Carrion. Wide receiver, Hilton, Sanders, Thielen, Boyd. And of the remaining, pick a flex. Okay, so I'm guessing we need 2 of each and then a flex. So I'm going to put them in order here. For your running backs, you will have Collins, Lindsey, Carrion, Mixon. And then for wide receiver, you will have Thielen, Sanders, Hilton, Boyd. So depending on how you want to put them in there, I think the safer play would be the running back at flex because you got 3 decent options there. Thank you very much for that. All right, we're gonna let it flow for a second. I'm running out of time here. I can't be here forever. I got to go to work tonight. Scott Mackinoff, flow your boat gently down the stream. All right, we're going in. Put me in, coach. Helmet engaged. Who out there seen Talladega Nights? It's kind of like the slingshots engaged. All right, here we go. Let me turn my sign on here. Got to make sure we got the sign on for letting it flow. Counting it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Galladay or Evans. I have Galladay slightly higher than Evans, but it's really close. Murray or Richard in a PPR league. That is disgusting, and I don't want to start either of them. If I had to choose one, I go Richard in PPR. What's my other job? I can't tell you. It's a secret. Boyd or Tyrell Williams. Boyd is still a little bit safer there. Letting it flow for BB. Creative Gaming. Ebron. Doyle, best fantasy show. Thank you very much. If I had to choose one, I have Jack Doyle slightly higher than Ebron this week. It's definitely flow time, Joe Camel. Can you feel it? Dak or Cousins? I'm going Dak by a hair. We have Lindsey or Peterson in a 10-man standard. Give me Lindsey. Dak or Mitch? Going with Mitch there. Sutton or Shepard? Give me Shepard. Sutton or Reynolds? Give me Sutton is actually a little bit safer there. Dak or Rivers? Oh, one is tough. I'm going with Rivers by a hair. Flow time, absolutely. Liking the video. Hopefully you guys are getting those likes in. John Brown, Tyrell Williams. Give me John Brown. Actually, excuse me. No, give me Tyrell Williams. I don't trust anybody there on the Baltimore Ravens receiving crew right now, not knowing their quarterback. We have Shepard or Sutton. Give me Shepard. Ben or Fitz. I'm guessing you mean Fitz Magic, and he's going to be my choice there. Fitzgerald or Evans. Going with Evans. Fitz is more safer. Which Magic QB? If I had to choose one, Fitz is slightly higher. Kittle and Duke for OJ and Ingram. Yes, I do that. Ben or Fitz again. That's the same question. I'm still going to stick with Fitz. Flow riding. You see me rolling. Okay, I'm not going to start singing. Cohen or Fournette in a PPR league. You got to go with Fournette regardless of the matchup. Cook or Lindsey. Give me Lindsey. Haters want to hate all the time, AP. Kirk or Godwin. Give me Kirk. Reynolds or Sutton. Give me Sutton. Lindsey or Coleman. Give me Lindsey. Let it flow, or left or right Twix. I'm right-handed. Let me go with the right side. Henry or Mixon. Going with Mixon by a hair. Lindsey or Coleman. Give me Lindsey. All about that flow. Mixon or Greg Olsen in your flex. I really don't like the flex tight ends. That sounded awkward. Give me Mixon. We have Big Ben or Phillip Rivers. Close, but I'm going Rivers by a hair. I see some turkey legs. We're close to Thanksgiving. Goff or Mitch Magic? I'm going Goff. He's my number 2 quarterback for the week. Breathe, Jake. I'm really trying to, Mikey, but I can't really do it in the helmet. Galladay or Cook? Give me Galladay. Julio or Brandon Cooks? Give me... that one's really tough. I'm sticking with Julio, though. His ceiling's too high to sit him. Lindsey or Carry-On? Give me Lindsey. Miller or Cook? Give me Miller. Carry-On or Davis? Give me Carry-On. Howard or Jalen Richard in a PPR league? I can't. Man, that one's too hard. Give me Jordan Howard, and I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. Miller, Doyle, or Sutton? I'm going Anthony Miller. I can't flex a tight end. Again, gobble gobble, Polycat. That's right. Ryan or Watson? Tough. Really tough. I think Watson is a little bit safer. Galladay or Allen Robinson? Give me Galladay. Big Ben or Goff? Give me Goff. Hooper or Burton? Give me Hooper. Mixon or Cook? Give me Mixon. But that one's really close also. Burton or Jack Motherfucking Doyle? I'm going Jack Doyle this week. Carry-On or Diggs? I like both, Mike Wright. It's probably a different Mike Wright, but I'm going to say Carry-On by the slightest of hairs unless something happens with Thielen and he sits. Mack or Miller? Going Mack. Cohen or Lindsey in a PPR? I'm going Cohen right there. Shepard or Tate? Give me Tate. Galladay or Boyd? Give me Galladay. Hooper or Ebron? Give me Hooper this week, but it's really close. Jake, you're about to explode. I kind of feel like I am. Doyle or Hooper? Toss up. I like both of them. When in doubt, go with Jack Motherfucking Doyle. We have Cook or Djax. Give me Cook. Miller or Fitzgerald? Give me Fitz. Adams or Watkins? Give me Watkins. Chiefs or Rams? Neither if you have to play their defense. You got Smallwood? You'd be surprised, Dan, but I can't prove it to you on camera. Mixon or Dalvin Cook? I'm going with Mixon. Sanders or Shepard? Give me Sanders. Harris or Kiki? I can't go with Kiki. We got to see him play first before I choose him. Give me Harris. We have Kirk or Watkins. Give me Sammy. Cohen or Evans? Give me Evans. Riddick or Adams? Give me Riddick. Snead or QT? I don't like either, but if I had to choose, I'd go with Snead. Galladay or Collins? Give me Galladay. Collins or Djax? Give me Collins. Hilton or Boyd? Give me Hilton. Wentz or Goff? Give me Goff. Fournette or Mixon? Give me Fournette. Lewis or Adams? Give me Lewis. Seals Jones or Ingram? Give me Seals Jones. Dalvin Cook or Amari Cooper? Hashtag never Amari Pooper. Go Dalvin Cook. Doyle or McDonald? It sounds like an old nursery rhyme, but I'm going to say stick with Jack Doyle. Always Jack Doyle. Mitch Magic or Fitz Magic? Fitz by a hair. Seals Jones or Ingram? I'm going Seals Jones, and that's it. Whew. Started to feel like that Will Ferrell moment in the movie Old School where I blacked out and just have to say what happened, because I really don't remember what all I said. Yes, that's right. I had one question in there about Smallwood. That one almost threw me off my game a little bit. S. June, he's losing it. S. June, he has to be one of the persons that hit the down or the dislike button. We're here to have fun. I mean, let's just have some fun with fantasy football. Let's see. You need to see me do that more, Austin Bartlett. I do it like minimum 2 times a week. If I did it anymore, I'd probably have like a heart attack or a brain aneurysm or something. All right. You're my boy, Blue. That's right. You know what movie we're talking about. You're right, Bass Fear Me. I do need oxygen right now. I need like a whole like tank of it. Don't you tell me I have small. That's right. That's right. Now we hit it. All right, let's get a few more questions in here. I got about 5 more minutes before I got to take off. If there are questions that I can't get to, which obviously there will be because we've had like just shy of 600 bajillion questions here in the chat in this last hour, I will be live tomorrow on the RotoBaller channel, Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you head over to that channel tomorrow. Me and my co-host Kyle Richardson will be over there. We do another Let It Flow segment. We'll answer all your last-minute start sits, weather advice, whoever's in and out as far as active, inactive. Lots of other information over there, so make sure you check that out tomorrow if I can't get to you here. Austin Bartlett, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to one of the greatest communities there is for fantasy football. We're almost to 27,000 strong, and it's not, like I've said in a lot of the other shows, it's not my channel, it's our channel. This is a community. It's not Jake's channel. This is for all of us. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy each other, here to help each other out, here to have fun with fantasy football. Why? Because fantasy football was getting boring. I've been playing fantasy football since about 1998, and it used to be a lot more exciting than it was starting to get. It was starting to get monotone and boring. That's changing now. Ishmael, I see you and I appreciate you. You got to pick 2 between Juju, Cooks, and Diggs. Cooks is a must. To me, the next safest bet would possibly be Diggs because the matchup is a little better. I personally would go Cooks and Diggs there, but I think Juju is still a solid play this week also. Dante McCringleberry, I can feel the love, but I can't feel the chub on camera. You were born in 1998, Zach C. I'm a lot older than you guys probably think. Who can guess how old I am? How about that? Put that down in the chat message. First person to get it right, I'll shout your name out. Evans over John Brown and PPR AP? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Hashtag always Chubb. Mac or Sanders? Thomas, I'm going Sanders. He's the best play. Nick right there quoting my start to the wide receiver video. I think a lot of people found that amusing. I am not 43, Ishmael. Man, 51? Okay, you guys, I'm not over 40. You guys are killing me. You're totally killing your boy's self-esteem right now. 40s. I'm not that old. Nope. I don't even know if anybody's gotten it yet. Let's see here. Has anybody even gotten it yet? Oh. Let's see if this is the first one. The first one to get it. Michael Roberts. 37 years old. Thank you, Michael Roberts. You are the winner of the guess an age. Michael Roberts is the winner. There's a few people that got it, but he was the very first one to say it. Okay, enough of the 40s. Whoever said I was 20-something, you win for the day, though, because you are nice. 52. I'm not 54. I'd be a pretty big 4-year-old. And let's see. 34s, you guys are getting... All right, that was pretty close. That was a fun game there to play at the end. Somebody says I look 18. That's a total lie. I know I don't look 18, but that's all right. Mikey Mink thinks I look 68. No. I mean, that's a big gap, 18 to 68. I mean, I think I look pretty good for not being, for if I was 68 right now. But I'm not 144. All right, well, hey, that was fun. That was a good way to end the live show. I really appreciate you guys once again. You guys are the best fantasy football community out there. I've gotten to learn a lot of your names here over the past, 11 weeks and change. It's fun to actually see, the same names over and over. And I may not know you guys, but we have an understanding. We've kind of gotten to know each other a little bit over the past few weeks. Some of the haters have turned into fans, which has been great. Always looking for that. If you guys have any opinions on the show, before I get out of here, one last thing, like I say at the end of every live show, this is a channel for all you guys. This is a channel for everybody. If you have things or ideas, show ideas, bit ideas, whatever you want to see, let me know, because I may not be able just to implement them after a week. But let me get some time to work on it. I've had people asking for merchandise. Merchandise is in the works. A draft guide for next year, I put that out there. That may be in the works here for 2019. I'm already going to be going to the NFL Combine, trying to get to the NFL Draft. I'll be going to the National Fantasy Football Convention next year. Lots of things are happening, and I want to make sure that you guys get to be a part of the show, not just a viewer of the show. This is going to be something we do this year round. Just because football season will end, start of the year, doesn't mean this channel is stopping. We need stuff to go through all year long. That's where you guys come in. I want to know what you want to see. Drop it down in the comment section down below, and we are definitely going to be taking this thing over here in 2019. We are making a run at some big things in 2019. I'm super pumped for it, and I'm glad to have you guys along with me. Am I going to have a website in the future is a question that just came in. Yes, the website will be built in the future. I am working out some other details, which I can't talk about quite yet, but it is something that is in the mix. Very excited for it, trying to bring you guys the most entertainment and the most information. I could sit here and talk boring, monotone. You guys need to take Kenny Galladay this week. I think he's a good play. That's too many other shows doing that. I don't roll like that. I can't do it. It's too boring. That's why we started doing this in the first place. My wife had this idea to come out here and start this channel. I didn't think it would really work like it has, but it has because of you guys. So I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys have a good weekend. Good luck tomorrow for week 11. Fantasy playoffs are right around the corner. Looking forward to it. Hoping to help you guys out as much as possible. I'll try to get to as many comments as I can tonight. I know it's last minute, but I'll answer as many as humanly possible over the next 12 hours or so. Getting ready to go to work, so I got to get out of here. But you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Thanks.